Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your marketing management class. Today, we'll talk about the different marketing strategy and its effectiveness. So, we'll have these different learning objectives. Number one, define what marketing strategy is and why it matters. Number two, identify the key component of an effective strategy. Three, understand how to measure strategy effectiveness. And fourth, apply measurement tools and KPIs to real world examples. So, what is marketing strategy? Marketing strategy is a long term plan to reach and persuade target customers. Its focus is the target audience, value proposition, positioning, and marketing mix. No? So later on, we'll discuss more about these different concepts, no, in order to solidify our understanding of what marketing strategy is. No? And then strategy versus tactics, no, will differentiate the two, where strategy is equivalent to the overall direction and tactics refer to specific actions. So strategy versus tactics. Strategy, basically, this is the overall direction. This is the big picture plan that sets the long-term vision and direction of the business or marketing effort. This is what you want to achieve and why. No? So the characteristics are it's long-term orientated, broad in scope, and guides decision making. No? So basically, class, strategy, this sets the corporate direction, no? So this is long term in nature, while tactics, these are your short term, no? And short term goals, no? So by definition, these are the concrete steps and day-to-day actions taken to implement the strategy. This is how you will achieve these strategic goals, no? So for example, class, no? Pfizer wanted to become the number one pharmaceutical company in the Philippines. No? So in order for us, that's the strategy. In order for us to, that's the vision. In order for us to achieve it, no, so we have to come up with a strategic plan. No? Strategic plan may encompass at least 5 years, no, in the making. Then we have tactical goals. So in order for us, say, to become the number one pharmaceutical company in the Philippines, so strategic goal natin would be to penetrate the different hospital chains in the Philippines. What are the tactical goals in order for us to achieve that? No, so partnered with different conglomerate, no? So like for example, MPIC, you know, the ones uh, led by Manny Pangilinan, no? So in order for us to help the company to achieve its goal to become the number one pharmaceutical company, so we have identified partnering with different hospital chains in the Philippines could be one reason, no, or one action that we can work on in order for us to achieve our goal. Okay? So characteristics of a tactics, no? So it's short term and actionable, narrow and specific, and directly measurable, no? So some examples would be run a digital ad campaign on Facebook targeting eco-conscious millennials, no? So partner with influencers in the Philippines to promote eco-friendly packaging. Offer a 10% discount for first-time buyers through the website. One good example of a strategy, expand the market share in Southeast Asian market by becoming the leader in affordable eco-friendly products. No? So you now see the difference between the strategy and tactics. So importance of marketing strategy, no? So aligns marketing activity with business goals, no? So like in my case, no, for example, when I was still with Pfizer, I handle uh part of my role is approving the different marketing programs, no? Provided by the marketing people, no? So basically, they will provide me a program um proposing a discount for a particular product for a specific segment, no? So, for example na lang ulit, hospital chains. In order for them to penetrate that particular hospital or hospital chain, we have to provide them a huge discount, in lieu of volume purchases, no? So the more that they purchase, the higher the discount that they can get. Now, in my case, basically, in order for me to approve that, no, all I have to do is to check whether uh, the the PNL uh, w- won't be impacted that much, no? So obviously we're offering huge discounts, which is okay, so long as we're able to penetrate a specific market, no? But then there has to be also my role, making sure that the again the profit is still available, no? So uh, looking beyond this marketing program would say how much would be uh, the sales generated by this program for X number of months, no? So those are some of the key measures that I look into whenever approving such marketing projects or marketing program. It provides direction and consistency. It creates sustainable competitive advantage, and it optimizes the use of resources, no? There are different components of marketing strategy, no? So we have market research and situation analysis, no? So we'll look into these six components of marketing strategy, no, as we go along. Segmentation and targeting and positioning, or STP. We have value proposition, marketing mix, no? So we have discussed this previously. What are these 4Ps and 7Ps? Objectives and goals, and obviously monitoring and control, no? So we have to make sure that whatever marketing strategy that we are implementing throughout the company, we have the way to monitor and control, no? So let's look at market research, no? So by definition, research is the process of systematically collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information about customers, competitors, and the market environment. So the purpose is to reduce uncertainty and support better decision making. Now we have different types of market research. Now, so we have primary research. It's basically collecting new data directly from the customer. So we do this by way of making survey, interview, focus group, or observation. And then there's also the secondary research, no? So it's basically using whatever existing data that we have, no? So it could be an industry report, government statistics, academic studies, and company records, no? So key areas studied could be the customer needs and preference and behaviors, no? So for example, we're looking into Apple user and Android user, no? So Android user, based on preference, would be these are the people who would value um more, I mean, those actions that they can do with their mobile phones, no? Because by using an Apple phone, no, so you could be restricted, no, because there's a separate platform, no, or operating system for Apple users, no. So basically, for Apple users, they're more after of the premium and prestige of the brand, no. Competitor strength and weaknesses, no. So say I'm a I'm from Pfizer, no? So obviously, I'd like to understand what are the key strengths and weaknesses of my competitors, no? So who are my direct competitors? These are also the branded pharmaceutical companies like Johnson and Johnson, GlaxoSmithKline, Boehringer, no? Eh, while I do not while Pfizer doesn't consider generics pharmacies or generic companies are as direct competitors, but obviously, especially in the Philippines, they are key competitors, no? Because obviously they can offer medicines at a much lower price compared to Pfizer. And then we'll look at also market trends and opportunities, no? So most of the companies rely more or rely heavily on influencers, no? TikTok posts, Instagram, Facebook, no? So that's the trend right now. And then we look at pricing, product, and promotion effectiveness, no? So uh, in terms of pricing, again, it depends on your target market, no? So for example na lang, Apple again, no? So obviously, they price their product at a premium, no? Because they're targeting a certain market, no? It's not for everyone. So a good example is a fully food delivery company surveys customer to learn preferred delivery times and analyzes competitor apps to identify feature gaps. Let's look at situation analysis, no? So by definition, it is a structured assessment of the current internal and external environment affecting a business, no? Let's look, for example, Petron or Shell, no? The oil company. Obviously, there are internal factors as well as external factors affecting its business, no? Shell, for example, what are the internal factors that might affect the business, no? So say for example suppliers, no? The It could also be an external, you know, so like the war happening between Russia and Ukraine, no? So it has an impact in terms of uh, seamless delivery of raw materials, no? The crude oil from Russia, Russia being one of the huge suppliers in the oil market. External also could be a government law, no? Or government regulation, no? That's also impacting the business of Shell in the Philippines, no? So there are different tools for situation analysis, no? So we have discussed previously about SWOT, or their strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then PESTEL. So, political, economic, social, technological, environmental, legal factors. And then we have the Porter's five forces. Now, let's look into this later on. And then obviously we have customer and competitor analysis. Who are we serving? Who are we competing against? And then internal audit. No? So these are the resources, capabilities, and financial performance. No? So what are the outcome that we usually expect from a situation analysis? No? We try to identify key opportunities and risks. No? So for opportunities, we try to make sure that we're ready to participate in exploring these different type of opportunities. In terms of risks, we're making sure that the company is ready to mitigate those risks, no? So keep it at a minimum. It also highlights gaps between the current performance and market demand. So just imagine, remember earlier we talked about Pfizer wanting to become the number one pharmaceutical company in the Philippines. You're aiming for number one, but where are you in terms of the total pharmaceutical industry? Eh kung nasa panglima ka, why don't you just uh, look at the gaps, no? You're in the fifth spot, you're aiming for number one, no? So then you have to create these highlights and highlight these gaps, no? Provides a foundation for setting strategy, no? So example, a clothing retailer uses SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, finds a strong brand loyalty, weak online presence, so that's weakness, growing demand for sustainable fashion, that's opportunity, and rising competition from global um, fashion brands. No threat. Pansinin niyo, class, those highlighted as either opportunity and threat, these are external to the company, while the strength and weaknesses, these are basically internal to the company. So pansinin, finds strong brand loyalty. This is internal. Weak online presence, again, internal. No? So it has to do with some internal processes um, in the company. segmentation, no? So divide the market, no? By definition, breaking a broad market into smaller, more manageable groups of consumers with shared characteristics, no? So bases are, for example, demographic, no? So we have age, gender, income, education, geographic, so it could be a location, climate, or a region, psychographic, so lifestyle, values, personality, behavioral, so buying habits, brand loyalty, usage rate, no? Pansinin na lang natin, um, let's take a look, for example, Lazada, this online selling platform, so even TikTok right now. And when people are really looking into this different selling platform, online selling platform, they tend to be participating in different live, no? Kaya 'di ba, in most cases we see people dwelling so much time, no? Spending so much time to just watch this live selling, no? Because it's highly engaging, no? And then it typically uh get you more discount, no? Kasi well, it's again a marketing strategy, no? So one example is splitting the smartphone market into students, business professionals, and tech enthusiasts, because these people have different buying habits, so they also have different preferences. Targeting and positioning, no? So targeting, it's selecting the right segment, so choosing which segment to focus your marketing efforts on. So it could be mass marketing. So same product for everyone, like the Coca-Cola original, no? And then we have differentiated marketing. So different products for different segments, no? For example na lang, Coke Zero, no? It actually just focusing on a segment, no? Or a target. Niche marketing focus on one small segment. So for example, GoPro for adventure sport lovers. Micro individual marketing, so hyper personalized offers, no? Spotify playlist, Netflix recommendation based on your viewing habits, no? For example, a gym chain targets young professionals in urban areas with flexible memberships, no? Because not all of this individual work, for example, the day shift or the mid shift or even the graveyard shift, no? And that's why it's flexible, because they can be offered with a um, not a one size fits all strategy, but basically catering to their own needs. Okay. Positioning define how you're perceived, no? So designing your product, brand, or service to occupy a distinct place in the minds of the target customers, no? So we have positioning statement, no? So for target market, brand is the category that value or benefit, because basically the reason to believe, no? And then we have the perceptual map, visual comparison of brands along key attributes, no? So for example, price versus the quality. So one good example of this would be Volvo position itself as the safest car brand. Then we have this value proposition, no? So value proposition is a clear statement that explains why customers should choose your product or service over competitors. It communicates the unique benefits and value that the company delivers, no? So for example, BDO, no, it is one of the most trusted commercial bank in the Philippines, because the value proposition is we find ways. Now, meaning to say, BDO is there to make sure that all of your banking needs are attended to, no? Kaya nga 'di ba, we find ways, no? Key elements of value proposition, the target audience, who is it for? The problem, what pain point or desire does it solve? Solution, how does the product or service address it? And then unique differentiation, why is it better than alternatives? So for example na lang ulit, going back to BDO, no? So BDO, its presence in most actually almost all SM nationwide, no. BDO has an office in those shopping malls, no, and they're open up until 7 p.m., no. So imagine, um the traditional commercial banks would just be open until 3:30 usually, no, 3:30 p.m. But yet here comes BDO positioning themselves, offering a unique differentiation, basically making them available up until 7 p.m. at night, no? Benefits: what value, emotional, functional, financial, does the customer get? Example, uh, we've looked at video, let's look at Uber, no? So Uber is basically similar to what we have here in the Philippines, Grab, no? Before, we have Uber also here in the Philippines, no? So smartest way to get around, a ride at the top of a button, anytime, anywhere. Apple, the experience is the product, beautifully designed, powerful, and intuitive. Slack is similar to Google Chat, no? Be more productive at work with less effort, all your team communication in one place. So why it matters in marketing? Because it defines the brand promise. It helps in differentiation in competitive market. No, because if you're within an industry that is really highly competitive, you have to make sure that you're a step up, no, or even ahead of the competition, no. So again, if you're going to put it in our perspective as a student, no. So for example, in your case, right after completing your course in marketing management, obviously you have to be even you have to up a notch, no, in order for you to be competitive in your industry, no. So say take another course, no, take an MBA, take or further studies in order for you to uh, upskill, no, and be more competitive in your industry. It forms the core message for all marketing communication, and it drives customer acquisition and retention. Okay, class. So let's look at the different framework for strategy. No, so earlier we look at the SWOT, Pestel, and then Porter's five, and then we have this SOSTAC model: situation, objective, strategy, tactics, action, and control. No, so let's look at each of them. Uh, SWOT, no? So earlier class, no? So we look at strength and weaknesses, and we said that these are basically internal, no? So tama, no? Strengths would be internal and positive, no? So these are the unique advantages, capabilities, or resources. Examples would be a strong brand reputation, loyal customer base, patented technology, no? So for Pfizer, for example, no, so they heavily investing in research and development. Therefore, uh, they are protected by patent, no, for uh, maximum of 7 years. No, so we have weaknesses. These are also internal and negative naman. No, so these are the areas that limit performance or competitiveness. No, examples would be limited distribution, high cost, lack of skilled staff. Opportunities and threats, these are external to the company. Opportunities are more positive, no? So these are the market trends or external factors that can be leveraged. Examples would be the growing demand, technological innovations, and new markets. And then for threats, these are the negatives, external risks or challenges that could harm the business. No? So examples would be economic downturn, new competitors, and changing regulations. Now, let's look at, for example, what industry? Smart or PLDT. So let's look at their strength. For PLDT, strength could be a nationwide coverage, no? So that's a strength. What would be its weakness? No? So growing, no, in it could be lack of skilled staff, probably, or um, demotivated employees. No? So as you know, currently we are hearing this news where I think it's PLDT or within Smart where the CEO is being uh, highlighted for his attitude. No, so it could be it could be a cause for demotivated staff, no? So that's a weakness. Opportunities, obviously, there's still a growing demand for communications, no? For high-powered internet connections. Threat could be new competitors, no? So we have basically opened up the playing field for international players. So that's how we look at uh, a company for SWOT, no? So strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Let's look at pestle. At class, we have discussed this previously, but let's look at different components of a pestle, no? So it could be political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal, no? So some examples of a political component would be the tariffs on important goods, elections affecting policies, no? So the tariff imposed by by US, no, to different countries, including the Philippines, would have a political impact, no, to our business. Economic, no, so example would be recession affecting consumer purchasing power, no. So in terms of uh, oil prices in the Philippines, the conflict between Russia, like I said, and Ukraine would impact, no, the prices of crude oil here in the Philippines. Social, growing preference for sustainable products, no. So for example, you're in the plastic industry, obviously people the growing preference of people for sustainable products would have a direct impact on your product on your company. So technological rise of e-commerce platforms, no? Not only that, no, even rise of the artificial intelligence, no? So if you're not a company who's embracing these changes, no, just like Nokia, no, it would be a downturn, no, for your company if you're not able to rise up with these different innovations. Environmental regulation on carbon emissions, no? So for example, you're still um, using heavily coal, no, in your productions, no? And because of these regulations, basically they're imposing a huge cost, no, if you're still heavily using coal, no? Legal, no? So new data privacy law or this GDPR. GDPR is basically just um, applicable to different companies in the US. Then we have the Porter's Five. No, it's developed by Michael Porter. It analyzes the competitive forces within an industry to determine its attractiveness and profitability. No? So, in our earlier sessions, we look at Pfizer, we look at the Porter's Five Forces within the pharmaceutical industry. No? So, we look at the different threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, and then threat of substitute product or services. And then the industry rivalry or the competitive rivalry. No? So as you know, if you're playing within a an industry, you have to understand these five forces in order for you to be prepared. No? So for example, na lang, again, no, looking at Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company. So how are we going to assess the impact of a threat of a new entrance for Pfizer and for industry as a whole? No, we're saying that there's a growing demand. No, there's a growing demand for medicines here in the Philippines. That's true because the population is also aging. Because of the lifestyle, we see that a lot of people are now requiring different maintenance medicines because because of high blood pressure, heart ailments, no? But then, because the market is growing, there's also threats of new entrants. Now, is it easy to enter the industry? No, the answer is no. Because it requires huge investment. It also requires a lot of uh, compliance to different government regulations, no? So we can assess that the threat of new entrants for Pfizer or for industry as a whole as low. How about bargaining power of suppliers, no? So bargaining power of suppliers for Pfizer alone, we only have two major distributors, no? We have Swillig and then um, Mercury Drug, no? So Mercury Drug, as you know, is the largest pharmaceutical chain in the Philippines, no? So they have a very strong um, uh, bargaining power, no? Kaya nga 'di ba, their tagline is makakasigurado, gamot ay laging bago, no? So, obviously, because they have that tagline, no, even those uh, products that are expiring within 3 months, no, they're already returning it back to the pharmaceutical companies. No, bargaining power of buyers, no, buyers, obviously, these are our patients because they need the medicines to cure their diseases. No, obviously, their bargaining power is low. But if we're going to compare it with doctors prescribing our medicines, obviously doctors have very strong influence amongst the patients, no? Because patients actually we trust the doctors, no? And in that case, the buying power of doctors would be high. Threat of substitute product or services, no? Would you go for herbal medicines and go against the doctor's prescription? So we can say that it's low. Industry rival or competitive rivalry. So we say it's still strong because especially with the introduction of different generic drugs. No? So let's look at SOSTAC. SOSTAC is developed by PR Smith. It is a planning framework widely used in marketing and business strategy. It stands for situation, objective, strategy, tactics, action, and control. No? So it provides a step-by-step guide to create, implement, and monitor effective marketing strategies. No? So we have 6 elements: situation or situation analysis. We talked about this earlier. No? So some tools like SWOT, Pestle, and Porter's 5 example would be the market share, customer insights, and competitor analysis. Then we have objectives. Where do we want to be? So it has to be smart, no? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, no? So going back to Pfizer's um, overall objective, no, to become the number one pharmaceutical company by 2028, no? So let's look at whether it's specific, whether it's measurable, is it achievable, is it even relevant or even time bound, no? One good example is increase the market share by 10% in 12 months, no? So it is a smart goal. Strategy, how do we get there, no? So in broad terms, we talked about strategy earlier. Basically, it's the overall direction to achieve the objective. It defines the target audience, positioning, or the value proposition. And then we have tactics. Again, specific marketing mix decisions. So we have the 4 Ps and 7 Ps. Example is launch a new Instagram campaign and offer bundled pricing. Action, who does what, when, and how. So this entails implementation details, no? So responsibilities, timelines, and resources. And C, control. How do we monitor performance. So we measure effectiveness, we look at the key performance indicators, reporting, and adjustment. So we track the return on investment. We look at the conversion rates. We look at customer feedback. So for example, uh, especially Agoda, no? So every time you book with Agoda, and then right after the last day or your upon checking out, they will send you a survey, no? So whether you're happy with their partner hotel or not, no? So what could be enhanced or changed. So you also provide them your overall feedback. And then usually they provide you with vouchers that you can use for next time. No? So that actually drives people from answering this type of surveys. And these surveys are very helpful for Agoda in order for them to give you a more tailored offering next time, no? Or suggestion. So say for example, in traveling, you'd like breakfast for free. No? So the next time around, as soon as you again uh, search on Agoda, Agoda would be giving you suggestions, no, with pre breakfast. Okay, so from strategy to action, no? Strategy to campaigns and to customer interaction. There has to be consistency across channels. Examples would be an Apple's product launch strategy. Measuring and marketing effectiveness, no? So by definition, it's how well strategies drive intended outcomes. No? So again, uh, securing a market share of 15% by 2028. No? How are we going to be in that position? So we look at the different strategies. We look at quantitative, no, return on investment, conversion rates, sales growth. Now we'll look at this in more detail later on. And then we also look at qualitative, no, so brand perception, customer satisfaction. So key marketing metrics, no, or the key performance indicators. We have the return on investment, customer acquisition cost. We also have the customer lifetime value, conversion rate, market share, retention rate, and the brand awareness and engagement. Now let's look at these KPIs one by one. No? So return on investment. It measures the profitability of marketing activities compared to their cost. So there's the formula, but basically a good example would be say a 100,000 campaign that generates 250,000 in sales. No? So the ROI would be 150%. So, for example, earlier I mentioned to you that part of my role when I was still in Pfizer is to approve different marketing projects, no, partnering with hospital chains, offering discounts to these chains, no. So basically, that particular project is saying yes, we can offer them 50% discount at this rate, but then they will be ordering this much, no? And then from there, make sure to check how much would be the generated sales and how much would be the cost for the company in order for us to cater with this huge discount, no? And then we have this customer acquisition cost, no? So it's the total cost of acquiring a new customer. Formula is simple, no? Total marketing and sales cost divided by the number of new customers acquired. Siguro one good example of this is say you're a Converge user, no? In my unit for in my place, for example, no, so we're always having difficulty connecting with the customer agents from Converge, no. So basically we're not happy with the internet connectivity within Converge, no. So what's happening right now is Globe and PLDT, they're offering us to convert, no. And then for PLDT and Globe, no, basically the customer acquisition cost is how much offering they can let go in order for us Converge users to transfer to their company, no? So like in my case, no, so I'm a Converge user previously. I jumped to PLDT, no? So by signing up with PLDT, they offered me a uh, I think they offered me a 1 year upgrade, no? And then after that I'll be paying the amount for that offering, no? So they also provided a free subscription to um I forgot uh, the the what's that brand? So they also offered a telephone, no? Signal, yon. So they offered signal channels along with the internet connection. Then we have customer lifetime value. So this is the predicted total value of a customer will bring over their relationship with the business. The formula is the average purchase value multiplied by the purchase frequency multiplied by the customer lifespan. No? So it matters because it helps assess long-term profitability of customers versus the cost of acquiring them. No? So for example, a customer spends 1,000 monthly for 3 years. So it would be 36,000. No? So uh, if you can still recall earlier, I talked about approving a marketing project for these marketing people, basically projecting how much would be the sales generated by partnering with this hospital chains. No? So that's basically the customer lifetime value. Then we look at the conversion rate. No? Conversion rate, this is the percentage of prospects who take a desired action. No? So desired action would be purchase, no? Signing up with you, downloading your apps, no? Number of conversions over the total visitors multiplied by 100, no? So it measures how well marketing turns interest into action, no? So sometimes, no, um, ito na lang, I'm not sure if you've been to um, Boracay, no? But in Boracay, there's a chain of hotels, no, offering you a buffet breakfast or lunch or dinner just by just for you to listen to their marketing program, no? But basically, the offering is for you to own a hotel at this price, no, within Boracay, no? So um the conversion rate there is basically of all these people that you have invited who ate with your buffet, you know, how much actually signed up would be willing to invest in your hotel. And then we have this market share. So the percentage of an industry sales captured by a company. So company sales over the total industry sales multiplied by 100. Class, no? The reason why we're multiplying it by 100 is for us to get the percentage value. So it reflects competitive position in the industry. If the smartphone market is 10 billion and your sales is 1 billion, therefore your market share would be 10%. So it's basically 1 billion over the 10 billion. No? So 10 billion is the total market, no, for smartphone. And then we look at the retention rate. Ito class, no? It's easy. It may not be easy to get your customer to sign up with you, but that the strategy doesn't stop there. No, you have to make sure that you retain them, that you continue serving their needs in order for them to stay with you. No, so this is the percentage of customers who stay with the company over a specific time. No, so customers at end less the new customer acquired divide by customer at start multiply by 100. No, white matters, retaining customers is cheaper than acquiring new ones. No? So earlier we talked about giving them free upgrades. No? So these people who are already in your company, it's cheaper to make them stay, no? So instead of giving out free upgrades for 1 year, no? So simply make sure that your current customers are happy, no? Sabihin lang natin na instead of giving 1 year, why don't you just give them a month, no? So long as they're happy with your service, they will stay. So brand awareness and engagement. So definition, it measures how familiar customers are with a brand and how actively they interact with it, no? So especially, no, in ito na lang, real life example again, no? So in our condo here in Alea, we have this group, no? So every time people would ask for recommendation, no? Because I'm happy with PLDT at least, no, for within my area here in Bacoor, Cavite, I would basically refer PLDT, no. So I would even say uh Converge is has poor signals in this area. No? So I've been with Converge for a year and I was never happy. So then I switched to PLDT and my experience is good so far. No? And then we have, in terms of brand awareness and engagements, we have different metrics. No? So we have reach, impressions, social shares, likes, comments, search volume, brand recall surveys. No? Why it matters, strong awareness fuels consideration, engagement, and drives loyalty. For example, a social media campaign gets 1 million impressions, 5,000 shares, and 20,000 comments. No? So it shows strong awareness plus engagement. That's why earlier I said that most of these products, they're actually um, into different marketing innovations. No? They don't just rely um, on advertisements in the free TV. No? They're actually using different influencers, no, to advertise their products in different social media platforms. Then we have tools and methods, no, in order for us to control and monitor, no. So how are these marketing strategies keeping up? We have Google Analytics, no? So it tracks and reports website traffic and user behavior, no? So for example, in Agoda, um, or even in Skyscanner, no? So Google Analytics can track and report this website traffic, no? So when we say website traffic, how many people are actually logging in and using your particular service. No? So key features would be page views, bounce rate, conversion tracking, customer journey mapping. It matters because it provides data-driven insights on which campaigns drive traffic and sales. No, so when there's traffic within your platform, it's good because people are interested. People are there to look for your services. Okay, so example would be finding out that 70% of traffic comes from mobile. So as a strategy, you have to optimize website for mobile users. No? Another example would be, let's say, for example, Skyscanner. No? So Skyscanner, basically, it provides you with the lowest airplane ticket. No? Uh, Basically, it looks up the different airlines websites, no, for the lowest tickets. Okay, then we have CRM system or customer relationship management. It centralizes customer data, contact, sales interactions for better relationship management. No? Key features with the lead tracking, sales pipeline, customer segmentation, and retention analysis. No? So, for example, in collective, no, um, say we're behind or preparing the financial reports for a particular member. No? So one way in order for us to make sure that we retain them is by offering them credit, no? So say if you're going to sign up with us for if you're going to continuously use our service for the next 3 months, no? So here's 1 month worth of credit, and we'll make sure that your books are up to date. No? Even if the reasons for not keeping their books updated are because of them not providing us the valuable support, no, or documentations like bank statements. It matters because again, it improves personalization and customer lifetime value. So we talk about customer lifetime value earlier. No? So using CRM to identify top 20% of customer would generate 80% of revenue. No? So again, the value of using this CRM is to make sure that we focus most of our resources in the value adding activities. So in this case, those 80% uh, of our customers would generate revenue for us. A/B testing, so it compares two versions of a marketing asset. So we have web page, ad, or email to see which performs better. You know? So in this case, class, we're basically looking at different marketing program, no? And then comparing which one is more effective, comparing with the other. You know? So key features would be random split testing or statistical significance. It optimizes conversion rates by relying on evidence, not guesswork. Testing two subject lines in an email campaign, version B increases open rate by 15%. So then we have this MMM or the marketing mix modeling. So it analyzes the impact of various marketing activities or the four P's. No? So we have the product, price, place, and promotion on sales. So key features include statistical analysis, ROI measurement, budget allocation, insights. It matters because it helps companies decide where to invest marketing budgets for maximum return. Ito class, no? So we use marketing mix model, especially if our resource is limited, no? So say for example, we have a constraints of we only have this budget uh, to spend on marketing programs. So instead of investing it in different activities, we look at an activity that we can reap more value from. No? So models show TV ads drives 40% of sales lift, digital ads 25%, promotion 20%. So we adjust the budget accordingly. So right now, like I said, marketing strategies highlight really or rely more on different strong influencers in the social media platforms, no? So uh, kaya 'di ba especially in TikTok, no, or in other even in YouTube, no, you can see vloggers in the middle of their content, no, advertising a product because that's the trend right now. Oops. Okay, so actually that ends our discussion on the marketing strategy, no? So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me via email or course it through your class Speedle, no? So stay safe and stay healthy. I'll see you again next session.